All right, good morning and welcome to the NuSpecies Live. I see we got some questions already coming in. Good morning to everyone. I am Jillian. Aston, can you hear us? Can you hear me? No?
And I'm Aston. I'm hearing a repeat. Yeah, I'm hearing you twice.
Okay, is anyone
Should I
else
log
hearing?
out and rejoin?
Sure.
All right, let me log out.
Okay. As you can see, Aston is in Bronxville today. He tried to get there already so that we don't have to worry about cutting off if we're not done. Hi, good morning, Annette. Hi, Fitzgerald. Are either of you having an audio issue? Or are you hearing like a double audio? Just let me know. And then Aston will rejoin. Hi, Tony. Good morning. Everyone, if you're joining, please just say hi, even if you don't have a question. But if you do have a question or any comments that you want to share with us today, the sooner you post them, the better. We often tend to, everyone gets warmed up, I'd say a little bit too late into the show, and then we have to cut off before we can get to all your questions. So I'd appreciate it if you could get them in there soon. And if you don't think about them until later, it's fine. If we can't get to it, we'll get to it next week. All right, let me see if Aston is telling me he's having a technical issue. All right, he should be right back. All right, well, I will do the introduction in the meantime. So, NuSpecies' mission is to help our clients live better and longer. Those of you on the show, usually you know that, you've experienced it yourself. If you're new to us, NuSpecies is a natural health company. And let me get Aston back on here. All right. Aston, is the audio still a problem?
No, I am.
You're good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. So NuSpecies is a natural health company. We invent and manufacture our own unique line of raw plant-based herbal medicine and supplements. And all of our formulas are designed to help your body be resilient against the toughest of health challenges. Having said that, everybody is different, and a good health choice for one person may not be the right choice for someone else. And that's why we host this Q&A every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. so you can get the answers to your questions and help you continue along your own unique health journey. So thank you so much for joining us today over on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, keeping an eye on all the chats. Good morning, Peter. Hi, Chunksman. I'm seeing on a bunch of different people there on Instagram. Thank you. Hi, Angela. Good morning. All right, Aston, so let's jump into it. We already have a question from Fitzgerald, and he says, good morning, please discuss depression and how NuSpecies can help it or help with its treatment.
Okay, that's a good one, because I think most of us have depression, whether we know it or not. So depression typically stems from stress. It is the root cause of depression, stress, and it could be stress about anything at all. So what stress means, though, it's important that everyone understand what stress means. What stress means is that the body is producing a lot of hormones in excessive amount, like cortisol, steroids, and other hormones. For a lot of women, it's estrogen. For a lot of men, it's testosterone. So it's the excess of these hormones that interact and damage the nerves, damage the neurological system. So the center of our nerves are in our spine, right? In our spinal cord leading up to our brain. So our brain uses most of the neurons in our body. The brain is the sun, and everything in our galaxy spins around the sun, essentially our planetary system, correct? So when the nerves are damaged or impacted by these excess hormones, so now the excess hormones, they become free radicals. And that is the problem. The excess hormones, the body can't use them. The body doesn't have anything to do with them. And the liver and the kidney just can't purge them out because the body is producing so much, so fast. So these excess hormones become free radicals, and then they interact with our neurons and our nerves. So all depression, all anxiety, all these issues are neurological in nature. And if they're not corrected, they can lead to permanent damage to the brain because of the permanent damage to the nerves. And then a lot of people who come to me, what I have found is that these excess hormones, these free radicals, they now interact with the optic nerve and it can cause eye issue. They interact with other nerves and it can cause hearing issue. So that's what depression is. Depression means the body is not in its stable state, hormonally and neurologically. That's what depression is. So if you have anyone in the family who's depressed, you have to be extremely patient with them, and they absolutely positively need therapy because a lot of what they're doing, a lot of what they're saying, they may not know. They, to some extent, don't have any control over what they say or what they do. So when they are depressed, you have to be patient with them. You can't get, you can't get too negative with them because that will worsen their depression. And then they essentially will just run away from you eventually. So if you have anyone in the family who shows any sign of these symptoms, anxiety, you should seek therapy for them. And I would strongly recommend that you do not do medication unless the person is completely uncontrollable, because over time, the medication itself will itself become free radicals because they're chemicals, they're compounds, and now they're going to interact with the nerves and the neurons as well. And that's why a lot of people suffer permanent neurological damage is because of the medication. So any kind of anxiety is a form of depression because the person is not able to control their environment or themselves or what's happening in their brain, their thoughts, their action.
Is the medication that would be prescribed for depression like more dangerous side effects wise than any other medication people would be prescribed?
Well, that's a great question because it's a great question because when someone suffers serious nerve damage, they may never recover because they may never live long enough. And I'm going to explain that. So, nerves are the hardest tissues in the body to fix. Once there, that's for a lot of you who do surgery and you start having numbness and tingling. That's why you have that because it becomes a permanent damage. It's very hard to get nerves that are detached or nerves that are impacted by free radical chemicals to reconnect. So yes, because the medication, any medication can damage nerves. Because the medication can damage the nerves may never be able to be repaired, and it could just lead to permanent other health issues. Because you know what neurons are? Neurons are messengers. Neurons are literally messengers. It's messages like you're on your computer, your cell phone, or whatever, and you're texting, you're emailing, like you're talking to someone. That's what neurons are. The hormones that I just mentioned, they are messengers. Hormones are messengers that tell our bodies what to do. If you're gonna get up and walk, just imagine in that split second the amount of hormones that are generated from the endocrine system to tell the brain, to tell the nerve, to tell the neurons what you want to do, and you do it without even thinking, right? So that's the way nerves work. They're messengers, and then the neurons are just like that. If you're gonna go from one place to another, neurons are just like the train or your car or whatever, or your bike, whatever you use to get from point A to point B. That's what neurons are. So when these neurons are disrupted, or the channels, which is the nerves, are broken, that's why this person, you may think they are acting abnormally, and they may be acting abnormally, thinking abnormally, um, and so forth. So nerves are very hard to repair. Essentially, that's the case. So we have a package that we call the nerve package. It is the same as the brain package. It's our LNU 25, our B vitamins, the vitamin D, the mineral complex, and the B pollen. Those are what we have been able to help people with nerves. So it's a package. So our packages at NuSpecies, like this package, keep in mind that we have been using different formulation over the last how many years? Way over a decade with people with numerous issues. That's how we come up with our packages. So if you see we have a package on the website or we recommend the package to you, is because it's worked for a lot of people and it is more likely to work for you.
All right,
So
I'm
the
post
nerve package or the brain package is the same. That's what we use for nerves.
okay. I posting that link in the comments. So, from a new species perspective, when we typically talk about people making decisions about medical care or medical intervention, normally the main danger is in relying on that medicine as if it's going to fix the problem, even though it's just managing the symptom. And then what happens is people stay on the medicine for too long, for their whole life, and then the medicine starts to cause more damage than good. Let's say in the case of depression, where someone could be a harm to themselves or others, and medication is like the only thing at the time that could potentially, along with therapy, could protect them for, from a new species perspective, we would always say, as long as you are you're doing what you can to repair the root cause of the problem, which for us, we believe is what we do with our formulas, then, the medical treatment could be used temporarily to manage severe symptoms until fixing the root cause starts to take effect. Would you still say, even in that scenario, the medication for depression could be very dangerous?
Oh, absolutely. I think medication is necessary, people, probably in many or most respects, but you just can't stay on it. It has to be a temporary measure to get you from one point to another, to get you from, harming yourself, harming someone, until you can get your body the right source to fix the issue or to help you to fix the issue. So this is what and by the way, this is true for all health issues, whether it's depression, anxiety, is the same for heart disease, blood pressure, diabetes, the same for people, people who have prostate issues or menstrual issues, ladies. It's the same. The biochemistry has changed. That's what's happening. So imagine you make your lemonade and you have your sugar, you have your water, you have your lemon, and whatever else you add in there, right? And it's perfect. Oh boy, it tastes so good. And then put too much sugar in it, put too much lemon in it, put too much whatever in it, and now it becomes insipid. That's what's happening. The biochemistry of the brain has changed. The biochemistry of the pancreas has changed, and that's what leads to diabetes. So it all comes down to biochemicals. So what the medication is doing, the doctors are trying to, if you have certain abnormal behaviors, the easiest way to control you is to make you into a zombie, pretty much. And that's what these medications will do. They're going to calm you down and make you fall asleep or become droopy. And now you're less disruptive. It's not
Mm.
fixing anything. And over time, you just get worse. So I hate to put it that way, but from the people who come to me at NuSpecies and bring their medication and tell me their symptoms from the medication or the side effects of the medication, they become zombies.
Mm.
And now they're quiet and calm. And that's how our society, not just in America, but in the world, that's how we treat mental issues. And that's why therapy, talking to a psychiatrist or a psychologist or someone who in therapy, is probably the best way to go. It's going to take longer, but it's the best way to solve any kind of depression or anxiety or any neurological issues of the kind. The best way is the therapy to be is to do therapy. It takes a long time, it takes years, but it's the best way.
Right. And I think that if it's possible to find a psychologist or a psychiatrist who also understands that nutrition and good health play a really good role in battling depression or mental health issues. Because if you are dehydrated, if you are not exercising and don't have great blood flow, if you are malnourished, then it's only going to make healing harder, even when it comes to
Mhm.
mental healing. So, if you find a psychiatrist who understands that, like, potentially the cause of your depression is extremely low vitamin D and maybe really low B vitamins, they can work with you to. They'll understand why you're using NuSpecies formulas, but they'll also, some damage could have been done from that depression over time. So you probably need therapy and maybe some medication, but temporarily, and they'll understand that goal and they could help you in a more comprehensive way. So I would inquire about all those things, Fitzgerald. All right. Next question comes from Angela. She says, what can I do about my high stomach? She means that she seems bloated and looks 7 months pregnant. Some background information is that she's 60 years old and she does take blood pressure and diabetes medication.
So I like to speak from knowledge, from what we know from our tens of thousands of clients over the years. So ladies who come to me with stomach issues, and Angela, you can tell us if you fall into any of these categories. One, they have fibroids. Two, they have ovarian cysts. Three, they are constipated. And constipation means you're not going to the bathroom 2 to 3 times daily. If you're going once, it's not enough. You have to be going 2 to 3 times daily. You have to empty. If you don't empty, here we go again. If you have all these fecal matter stuck in the small intestine and the large intestine, which is also called the colon, all these fecal matter get stuck in there. Guess what's going to happen, folks? The body's going to create a lot of gas. And that's what biochemicals do. Biochemicals, when they interact, they create gas because gas is also matter. It's also physical matter. So any kind of gaseousness is physical matter. So it builds up in the stomach or the intestine or the colon. And these are three of the main ways I see ladies who have higher stomach. Another common is ladies who have given birth to children or a child, and they have a lot of belly fat. And if you have the belly fat, you have to go on a diet. You have to go on a lifestyle. There are certain foods that contribute to fat, like oil, like butter, like meat products, dairy products, foods that the body naturally just convert to fat very, very quickly. So, which means that it could be a digestive issue as well, causing the high stomach. So
So she
these are the main categories I see where ladies who have higher stomach, that is the reason they have the higher stomach. So you got to change the diet, change the lifestyle, and for some ladies who come to me, they have to do a lot of exercise to burn the fat. Our bodies are designed to burn fat first. If we're not burning fat, we're storing fat, and that's a huge problem.
Okay, so she was saying, is she is very gassy. She did have fibroids, but those were removed, and her stomach wasn't like this prior to that. It could just be, separate from anything like that, and more just like you said, diet and lifestyle.
It is unbelievable, at least to me. I'm not sure about you all. It is unbelievable to me the amount of fecal matter the intestine can hold on to. It can be a lot. It can be many, many pounds. Some people have up to 5, 10 pounds. Yes, people, the intestinal tract is very long. Just Google how long the average adult intestine, how long it is. And guess what? It can expand. By nature, it is designed to expand.
Mhm.
So a lot of people are walking around with a lot of fecal matter trapped. in their small intestine and large intestine, and they don't know. So I would say constipation or not going 2 or 3 times daily is one of the is probably one of the number one causes of higher stomach. And that's true for men as for women.
Mhm.
And yes, if you have fecal matter trapped in the stomach, people, which is the small intestine and the colon, that would be these chemicals, these fecal chemicals, poisonous chemicals, are deadly. Can cause colon cancer, intestinal cancer, rectal cancer, and a whole host of other diseases. But in addition to that, if these chemicals are trapped in the small and large intestine, guess what your stomach is going to do? Your body's going to create a lot of fat cells to store them because you just can't pass them out. That is what our bodies do. Fat cells usually are warehouses to store chemicals and waste that the body can't expunge. And that's why people get polyps, and polyps are tumors. Polyps are like cysts, where you get cysts, wherever you have cysts or lumps and bumps in the body, these are warehouses that the body is storing stuff in because the body just can't get rid of it. So that's one thing you should take away from the stream today. If you have lumps or bumps or fibroids or cysts or nodules anywhere in your body is storing unwanted chemicals, and any of these cysts, follicles, lump, bumps can turn into cancer. Any of them can turn to cancer over time.
Right. So Angela was saying that her stomach is bloated like that, like mostly in the mornings. So I was asking her, is it all day, every day? She said mostly in the mornings, which is interesting. Typically, people's after like a good night's sleep, and your body having time to do a little bit of like cleanup, people will find that their bellies are kind of nice and deflated in the morning, and then they get bloated during the day, usually in relation to meals. So that's definitely an interesting thing, Angela. I would definitely just look at your diet. And I don't know if you're using our detox, but if so, keep doing that every day, morning and night. If and then you might want to add in our probiotic for a while. The Lactobacillus acidophilus is a strain of bacteria that is proven to be extremely beneficial to intestinal health, which is what makes it a probiotic. Just any strain of bacteria, just because it's not dangerous, doesn't make it a probiotic. It has to actually be proven to be have health benefits to the human body for a strain of bacteria to be beneficial. We find Lactobacillus acidophilus is very abundantly present in the gut and has a very broad spectrum of benefits. So if you're going to take just one probiotic, we find that that one is really helpful. You probably have a deterioration of your digestive tract, which a lot of us have. It could be a lot of inflammation, like Aston said, gas. So meat and dairy, there's no fiber. There's no fiber in meat, and our bodies are fueled by fiber. The healthy bacteria in our gut is fueled by fiber, which is in plants, nuts, seeds, whole grains. So these are things that I would start focusing on eating and let us know.
And in addition to that, I might suggest, Angela, and for all of you who are in the situation, you're taking the NuSpecies detox. It's not designed to be a diarrhea or a washout, and I think you all know that. But if you have chronic constipation, you can double, triple, quadruple your dose if you choose. It's not going to hurt you, and it's not going to wash any of the electrolytes out of your stomach, your intestine, and your colon. But if you're going to double, up to quadruple the dose of the detox, do it while you're going to be home for a day or two, and then you have to get a lot of fluids in, not fluids, water. You got to get a lot of water in. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be getting at least 50 ounces of water in. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you can do the math. You should be getting at least 100 ounces of water in daily, and even more. And you may have to do that for weeks or months to remove all the fecal matter that are stuck to the walls of your colon. Because if the fecal matter, feces, if it's stuck to the walls of the colon and the intestine, what's going to happen is that you're going to have absorption issues. that's going to even contribute more to constipation or contribute more to you, as Jillian just mentioned, the good bacteria. You're going to start harboring the bad bacteria. And now the bad bacteria are going to sit there and interact with the good bacteria. And then you have a nightmare. That's what leads to a lot of the autoimmune diseases people have in their stomach and their intestine. Is those bad bacteria, they interact with the good bacteria. They make kids, they make children with the bad bacteria, and they have a disaster for years, probably in some cases for their whole life in their intestinal tract. And that too can lead to not just autoimmune diseases, it can lead to colon and rectal cancers.
Right. So Angela's saying she's a breast cancer survivor. And then Angela, you also said that you have diabetes and high blood pressure. So keep in mind that when our intestines, when we don't have enough healthy bacteria in our intestines, which is fueled by fiber, which is why it's extremely important to eat a lot of plants. And if not, eliminate meat and dairy from your diet, but keep them in very small amounts. When we don't have enough of that good bacteria in our intestines, there are these tissues in our intestinal wall that like link together and create a barrier, because actually the outside of, we think that like when we put something in our mouth, we're putting food on the inside of our body, but we're actually not. From your mouth to your rectum is one big hole down the center of your body. So technically it's connected to the outside, not the inside. The only way stuff gets on the inside is when that healthy bacteria in your intestines decides to break down and consume what you've eaten, which if it's meat or dairy, it's not going to eat it. The bad bacteria will eat it. When you eat plants, the good bacteria are able to proliferate and digest those plants and then say, this is the stuff you should absorb. But when we have a very toxic environment in our intestines for a long time, those tissues that create a barrier start to separate and deteriorate, creating holes, which is that when you hear about leaky gut, that's when now all of those toxins, bacterial endotoxin is what it's called, starts to get in your bloodstream. That's when you start to see things like blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, all of these diseases, heart disease, autoimmune diseases, like Aston was saying. I mean, honestly, the list, it would probably be easier to list the diseases that this doesn't cause. So if you are a cancer survivor and you do still have high blood pressure and diabetes, and your body is telling you something is very wrong in your intestines, there is nothing more you need to say that you need to change your diet drastically, and you need to do it now, and exercise and drink water and make sure you're getting a lot of sleep. Okay. So let's go to June asked a quick question that I can answer. June is saying, what is better to take, honey or bee pollen? So those are just two different things, June. So edible portions of a bee hive is honey, propolis, and bee pollen. And all of those are great to consume. The trouble with honey is that a lot of honey is going to be processed with heat, and therefore all the properties in it that would typically be medicinal are pretty much damaged and not useful to the body. So then you're just really consuming a lot of sugar. It is a whole food form of sugar, but once it's highly processed, really all the benefits of honey are not there. And I was watching this documentary once, and like an ancient practice, I want to say by the Greeks, is that when you actually put like honey in your tea, they actually wait for the tea to become drinking temperature. Then they stir in the honey, because they know that if you stir the honey into a boiling hot cup of tea, you're actually killing all the beneficial nutrients that honey has. So even when we spend the extra money and we buy that raw honey that's super expensive at the grocery store, if you're putting it into super hot liquids, you're not really getting those benefits from it. So honey can be tricky. There's many other ways to get those great nutrients from bees. So like bee pollen is just like a superfood. It's incredible. We sell it raw in liquid form. So honestly, I think it's just easier to stick with bee pollen. But that's my answer there. Aston, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
No, I think that's a great answer.
Okay, great. All right, Darnett is asking, can I still take my supplements while doing chemotherapy?
So I've gotten this question so many times. The answer is absolutely, positively yes. New species is whole food. Whatever we tell you all about new species, it's true. Our formulas have no chemicals and no chemical preservatives, no chemicals, no compounds, no chemical preservatives. Medications are chemicals. Medications are pure. About 79 or over 79% of all medications are chemicals. Our formulas will not interact with any medication that you're taking. So whatever you're doing, feel free. Whatever medication you're taking, feel free to take all formulas with your medication. Your doctors will say no, and your doctors are correctly saying no, because the doctors know that probably most of the vitamins in the world that are on the market, they're chemicals. They're not, some of them are not even chemicals. They're compounds. They're worse than chemicals. They're made in labs. Chemicals are those that are on the periodic table, and there are 92 of them officially, but others have been added since the nuclear age has come into being. But the point here is that if it were those chemicals alone, we would be fine. But now it's all these thousands of added chemicals and compounds that are made, and a lot of them are in drugs. That's why they will interact with your medication. But as far as new species is concerned, trust us. Our formulas are made from whole foods,
And that's and
plant
you've
based.
you've worked with oncologists who have approved of their patients taking our formulas, right?
Oh, a lot.
Mm.
A lot of you have asked me and asked your doctors to speak with me, and I speak with doctors from all over the country, all over the world, very, very, very frequently, and they would ask about the product because, and I can tell you all what they want to know. What they want to know is what role the FDA plays with new species, because you know the FDA approved drugs. So all the ingredients we have in our formulas are approved by the FDA. The ingredients, not the formula itself, the ingredients. All the ingredients are approved by the FDA. And once I tell them that, they say, okay, that's all I needed to know. And they find some of them have written new species in their prescription of their medication. Some doctors have done that.
Yeah. So I guess the only thing would be like if someone's taking our God formulas or New Genesis where we don't provide the ingredients. Have you ever worked with any doctors in relation to those products?
I have. They have been leery, but some of them have not stopped their. I think they take my word for it. They have not stopped their patients from taking new species because after a while, if you all tell your doctors that you're taking new species and bring the bottles to them, because what we have on the label is also meet FDA regulations, people. So the doctors know. They know that if we're making those claims in our label and they're not true, they know we wouldn't be around. And trust me, I'm sure a lot of these doctors, new species, client doctors have called the FDA. I'm sure. I am sure that a lot of your doctors have called the FDA because a lot of you have stopped taking your medication and you're taking new species, and the doctors hate that, as they should, because they don't know anything about new species. So my recommendation to all of you is take your bottles of new species to your doctors and show them what you're taking. Some of them will agree, some of them won't agree, but you should at least let your doctors know what you're taking. I think you should. I think you owe your doctor that privilege to know what
Mhm.
you're taking.
Yeah. I what was I sorry. You were saying about oh yeah, and I would be prepared when your doctor potentially says no, that but because they're just sort of blanketing all supplements, they're not an expert on it, and they don't want to be liable if if this product were to harm you, let's say. But that's what I call medical prison. So we get ourselves into a situation where we now need severe medical help, but we still know that we want to use plant-based supplements. We want to use nutrition to heal. And our doctors who are providing a treatment we do need are telling us not to do this other thing that we really want. And then we get stuck in this place where we now have to be brave enough to potentially go against our doctor or take extra time and effort to go find another doctor. And that's where medical prison can trap you. because you start to lose options that you maybe would have had before, which is another reason why obviously we promote prevention and really want you to care for yourself now before things get worse, so you don't end up having to make those tough decisions.
If you all allow us to add our charitable foundation days to New Species Corporation years, I can tell you that as long as we've been doing New Species, people, we're talking about tens of thousands of people worldwide, we have never had one person, one doctor saying New Species interact with the medication. We have
Mhm.
never had a case. Never had a case, people.
All right. Andrea Brown asks, what to kill toenail fungus quickly?
Get the LNU1 with the colloidal silver, and this goes for all of you. If all of you want the ultimate skincare product to kill viruses, kill bacteria in your skin, on your skin, in your hair. If you want the ultimate skincare to kill viruses, kill bacteria, a lot of you have alopecia, you have all these lumps and bumps in your skin, all these rash in your skin. If you want the ultimate skincare to care for your skin, whether it's fungus or infection or bacteria or whatever, get the LNU1, get the colloidal silver, apply it to your skin like a lotion. Like you get up in the morning, you're going to go out and you want to, I know it doesn't feel comfortable, but get it in your skin and do it. I would say for maybe a month, 2 months, and you won't believe how beautiful and healthy and fresh your skin will look. The LNU1 along with the colloidal silver. Just use droplets. And then if you want to take it to the next level, oh boy,
Yeah,
add
but
in the new
topically?
Genesis.
Did you say
Huh?
that? You said
Oh,
topically?
topically. Use it like a lotion. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
topically.
Okay.
Just put it over your skin and morning, noon, and night. And the annual one body system along with the colloidal silver. And then if you want to take it to the ultimate level, you drop a little of the new Genesis in there and you're golden.
So
You
just
have
sort of
we,
massage it into her toenails and on her toes,
Right. And
and then there's
fingers, a lot of
her.
you have the same issue with your fingernails. Do the same thing. Just massage it into your toe or your toenails and massage in the root of the toenail. Same thing with the fingers. You have lumps, you have bumps, you have psoriasis, you have rash. Same thing. Just gently rub the new species, a new one with the colloidal silver into your skin and do it morning and night. You can mix them together for that one day, but you shouldn't mix them together for long term. And then when you're going to use it, you can just shake it up and you can apply it, and you will not be disappointed. We have helped a lot of people with rash and infections that they have for years. Some of them have infections for over 20 years, and within 2 or 3 months, those infections are gone from their skin or their
Mhm.
scalp.
And toenail fungus can be so tricky. So just really rub it in there and do it, like Aston said, morning, noon, and night, and do it for months, as long as it takes. Yeah. Okay. Leslie was asking, I received my new Genesis yesterday. There's no label on it. Aston, is it safe? I tried texting you.
It is safe. And yes, my apologies to all of you. The new Genesis does not have a label and will not have a label. So if
Well, meaning
you,
like it doesn't have we won't be providing the ingredients like
the ingredients list,
but we
right?
do have a little label. Do you have some right there you could show? I think Leslie, I
Um,
think we just ran out of the label. Yeah, so this little
he may have gotten the bottle without this.
yeah, so Leslie, we just ran out of those little labels and we didn't want to hold up anybody's product. But even that label doesn't have ingredients on it. So depending on what your concern is, that's the situation. So
If you trust new species, if you love new species, start taking your teaspoon or a tablespoon daily of your new Genesis, and you're gonna be fine. As I
yeah, give
said
it a sniff. There'll
before,
be no doubt that that is food.
yes.
All right. And then June says, Leslie, I'm on my second bottle of New Gen and loving it. No label is on it. Okay. Darnett was asking if you got the CAT scan she emailed to you.
So darn it, my dear. Um, I I am a week behind. Full disclosure to all of you, because I know a lot of you have called me or text me. We're kind of short staff, and you can see behind me, I'm in the Bronxville office. So I'm helping to cover the Bronxville until office until we are store until we can find someone. So if any of you have any friend or someone you know very well who would represent NuSpecies well, we're looking for help in the Bronxville store, especially. We're looking for help elsewhere, but especially in the Bronxville store. Someone just to sit where I'm sitting right here and help our clients who walk in who want to refill their NuSpecies. So if you know anyone, just send them over to me today, or come over to me today. I'm here until about 5 or 6 o'clock.
All right, I'm looking. Dale, I know we saw an email from you. Dale's also asking if we got any labs. I'm not seeing it in our inbox right now, but I did see something from you. I think if it's not in the inbox, the team should have replied confirming we got your labs. And then, oh, okay. Leslie is saying I'm a she. We spoke the other day. The one with the swollen goiter. Thank you guys for all you do. You're welcome, Leslie. We do have a lot of men who have names that go both ways, so I always am careful about that too. Okay, I'm tracking just a bunch of questions here. Sorry, everybody. So Darnett, I don't know if you would sent your email directly to Aston or to our support inbox, or if it was faxed, because either of those will go to 3 different places. All HIPAA certified and secure, just 3 different places. So we can double check for you again, and same thing for you, Dale. All right. Hi.
Donna, just resend it to me, Donna. Sorry, Joe. Donna, just resend it to me, please.
Okay.
Because you're a priority, top priority. So please send it to me right now. Thank you.
Okay. Hold on. I think we have. Okay. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Terry. So happy to get people still joining. Suzanne said, Leslie. She's saying, Leslie, I've taken 3 bottles as well. It's very good and safe. Thank you all. Okay. Annette has a good one. What can you recommend for toothache?
Oh boy, that's a tough one.
I have to watch Aston mouthwash with NuOne every morning. So
NuOne is my toothpaste, my toothbrush, and look at her face every morning. I got a teaspoon of NuOne and swoosh it around my mouth for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. And I can tell you all, by the time I'm done doing the swooshing, my teeth feel smooth and clean. And the last time I went to the dentist, not going to tell you when, they were very impressed with my gum health, because gum health means good teeth, strong teeth. And I would invite all of you, we should have a whole stream dedicated to how you can use NuSpecies in other ways. And I have been using the NuOne as my toothbrush, as my mouthwash for at least 15 straight years, and I have been good. So NuOne is my toothbrush, my mouthwash. It's also my skincare, because I tend to have dry skin. It doesn't matter how much water I drink. I tend to have dry skin, so I've been able to use NuOne to nourish my skin and get rid of my my dry skin. And I have been able to avoid bumps and lumps and all of those things with people who have dry skin. So I invite you all to do the same.
So if the toothache is already there, though, I would just say potentially there could be an infection underway that may not be able to be turned around. I would still get it looked at by a dentist. But in the meantime, I would definitely be swishing your mouth with NuOne and acid colloidal silver.
Yes. And the first 2 to 3
and even
years of
NuGen
using,
now is like NuGen a potential as well.
probably I have not done
Tried.
it, but
Yeah.
probably. But the first 2 or 3 years of using NU1, folks, speaking to all of you now as my mouthwash, my three filling fell out of my mouth, and the enamel regrew and pushed the filling out of my teeth. And when I went to the dentist to get them redone, the dentist say, "Well, there's no need to do anything because the enamel has regrown." Can you believe that, people? The enamel grew and pushed the filling out of my teeth. Three filling. I think that's amazing. That's
Yes.
what they call a miracle if you believe in,
Yeah.
you know, believe in the Bible, call it miracles. But it's not a miracle.
It's how the
It's
body works.
it's just that's the
Um,
way the body works.
so yeah, so I would be swishing with some LN1 and colloidal silver, and then maybe rubbing it on. I know my stepfather had I had given him some of our anti-inflammatory at one point, and he said that he was like rubbing that on his gums, and he thought it really helped with his tooth pain. So, I think a lot of our formulas, because they all overlap with so many beneficial antibacterial and antiviral properties, anti-inflammatory properties, that you've got some options. So give
And
it
you
a
hit the
go.
nail on the head. You hit the nail
Mhm.
on the head. The number one cause of all issues with tooth or teeth, bacteria. Bacteria, bacteria, bacteria. Number one cause. If you're killing them, you are keeping your body healthy.
All right. So some folks were just asking about speaking with you. What does it take to speak with you? Is there a charge? So no, consultations with Aston are free. You just need to either call us or email us. So if you email support@newspecies.com, you can let us know some days and times that work for you, and we will let you know what aligns. Or you can call our team. I put the number in the chat. I will say right now, just because our discount is wrapping up this weekend, and we do have one of our main employees has been out for a couple of days, we're just a little bit backed up. So if you call today, you might not get through, or you might not get a call back until Monday or Tuesday. So we do apologize for that, but we will get back to you. So if you email or text, you can also text our number, the 845 440-7458. You can text that number as well. That just allows us to sometimes multitask, and sometimes we can get you booked or answer your questions faster if you email or text. Okay. Rosemary's asking, I got COVID from working with a client. What's the best products I should take?
New Genesis or the anti-inflammatory with the LNU. So, or you take all three if it's really bad. I'm speaking to all of you. The the God formula 4 is the most powerful formula we have, but it costs the most if you have infection or you have a virus or a bacteria. If you don't want to do the God formula 4, you get the New Genesis with the anti-inflammatory, and you take those, and you're going to be gold. Any infection. And as a matter of fact, all of you now should have a New Genesis at home and a God formula. You should have one of each at home and as medicine for when you or your family feel like they're getting sick, feel like they're getting a cold, feel like they're getting any kind of health issue, and you just take a teaspoon for a few days in a row. And those two formulas are going to be any of the God formula 1, 2, or 3, or 4, along with the New Genesis. And you should all have a bottle of each at home as your medicine. Not
Right.
something you take every day, but just have it at home.
Right. Yeah. So then Annette is asking a similar thing. I'm in the hospital and I got a sore throat and now a cough is coming on. What can I do? So same thing there. New Genesis. If you can get any of the God formulas, they do come in a 2-ounce size, which is 20% off right now. So right now we have 15% off of everything if you use the code NuSpecies15. But the rebuilding formulas are all 20% off. So like LNU25, the milk thistle, upgraded circulatory, upgraded anti-inflammatory. Those are all 20% off. And the God formulas in the 2-ounce size are 20% off. The God formulas in the 8-ounce size are actually 26% off, which sounds like a weird number, but Aston wanted to like give you savings that would equal getting an additional 2-ounce free if you got the 8-ounce. So the only issue with NuGenesis and God Formula 4 is we can't put them on the website because they don't have ingredients on the label. And so those you do have to call to order or come to the store. So if you call to order, you may not get through until Monday or Tuesday. We'll call you back. Just leave the message or send the email and we will get back to you. Okay. And then Annette, if you're in the hospital, I don't know if you're admitted in the hospital or if you work in the hospital, but if you're admitted in the hospital, I'm hoping you have someone you can call to bring you the products. And then just expect that maybe the nurses or doctors might not be happy with you taking the NuSpecies in the hospital, but sometimes they don't. So I'm just warning you about that. Okay. Now, okay, Darnette said she resent the CAT scan, so we'll double check. Darnette, again, if you could just let us know, are you sending it to support it? Yeah, I have it. I got it. Confirmed, my dear. Okay.
Boy,
okay.
that's what they call top service there, Donna.
Annette is saying, bee pollen takes in the morning or afternoon. Depends what you're using it for. You could take it anytime, truthfully, but if you're using it for a specific thing, then maybe you want to be more specific. Okay, Annette said I am admitted, but I will be home soon. Okay, great. Call us if you need us. Okay, Leslie is saying my husband is 61. He asks how he can get his engine started again. We were just talking about getting engines started the other day, right, Aston? You get the
Yes,
metaphor?
he should give me a call, or if he's in the area, he can stop into Bronxville or Elmont today, and we can get that engine all cranked up. Just want to ask a few questions as to what could be causing it. That's why there are issues that could be causing the engine to be clogged and the pistons are not firing the way they should. So we would need to know that.
Okay, right. And then I can put the Leslie, if you don't know the phone number and the email, we can always put that to get him an appointment. Okay. Fitzgerald is asking, I hope I'm not the only person, but I just can't figure out how to access the code or link to share even after signing into my account. So Andrea is responding. Thank you, Andrea, for helping troubleshoot. I think Andrea is thinking, Fitzgerald, you're talking about sharing this Q&A. Andrea, I think Fitzgerald might be talking about getting the referral link related to our loyalty program. So if Fitzgerald, you can confirm, that would be great. But I might be able to do a little screen share here. I know, I'm going to try to be like fancy here for a second. Hold on. If I go like this and then I do present.
Make sure you all have signed up for the rewards program. There are a lot of rewards in there. You get points at your birthday. You get points to refer someone. You get points when you purchase.
All right, so I'm on our website. You go to the home page. So hold on, close that. Okay, here's the check rewards. Aston, are you seeing what I'm showing everyone?
Yes.
I can't tell. Okay, so you click on check rewards. Right now, if I were to, I haven't signed in. So if I were to click on earn, I can't actually click on anything here, but this is where the refer a friend link is. So Fitzgerald, once you click login and you go back to check reward. So like if I were to try to log in, I don't know if let's see, I can sign in to my own account. No, I can't. Okay. I haven't actually figured out my own account, but if I were to have just logged in and I click check rewards again, if I click on earn, this should be clickable, and then a pop-up will come up and give you your referral link. So let me see if that answers the question. Did he respond? Okay, Fitzgerald, let me know if that's what it was. And I would say the next time you're in Bronxville, Aston could help you, but I don't know if he'll be any better with technology.
Fitzgerald, the last time you were here, I thought I figured it out for you. I'm embarrassed that you're now asking Jillian because I thought I thought
So
I
you
had it
know
all figured out, but obviously I have failed you.
I know because we want you to be able to send the link. But Fitzgerald, we also did do that workaround for you, so we can keep doing that in the meantime. But I'm glad you're still trying to figure it out. I also don't know, like if you have a really old phone, it could potentially just be that like the browser isn't updated enough to function the way that it should. So that could be. I know some of our clients, especially with Androids, have some pretty old phones. No judgment. I'm definitely not a fan of smartphones, but it definitely can make it hard to navigate on websites that are optimized for the newest versions of browsers. So, Fitzgerald, you could always call me too, and I could try to help. All right. Leslie says, yes, we have your number. They're in Georgia. So you just call and we'll work on that engine. All right. I think we made it through. Dale was asking, do you have a plan to open a shop in New Jersey?
Hmm.
No.
So the answer is we have a store in Almond, New York, supporting Queens, Long Island, etc. We have one right where I'm now. I'm in now in Bronxville, supporting the Bronx, Mount Vernon, Westchester, New Jersey, Connecticut, and we're short-staffed. We easily could put a store in every capital city in the United States, but we can't find people to work.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be sitting here. I should be elsewhere figuring out how to help you all to get to live long, live over 100. But here I am because we're short staffed. So if you all know anyone who can give us some help, someone you love and trust, a NuSpecies type person who you really like and who you'd want to represent you, represent NuSpecies, send them over. Or
Mm,
give them our contact information to reach out to Jillian or me.
yeah.
We are we have a recruiter for months now, and the recruiter can't find anyone either.
Mhm.
It's that bad, people.
Yeah. Um, Having said that as well, even if we could open locations everywhere, Aston and I then have to spend more time managing operations and people than inventing and supporting people's health. So,
Yeah.
if possible, we would rather just plan like one day a month where we just go to a different state and we just hang out and sell you products in person there and just do like pop-ups. So if you want to recommend a location for a pop-up for Aston and I to come to, we would be very happy to do that. DeBorn says, I don't see the God formula on the site. Is that the actual name? That is the actual name. God formulas are not sold on the website just because we don't provide the ingredients. And our payment processors for the credit cards, they don't like that. So in order to be able to keep them processing our payments, we can't sell anything without ingredients on the website. So you do have to call to place that order. We apologize. It's annoying for us and for you. So we're sorry. Or you can go to the store and buy them. All right. Are there any other questions? We can just hang out for a couple more minutes just because Aston doesn't have to rush off today because he is already there.
How
Um,
convenient.
I know. I think being outside the studio is kind of freeing. Yes, God formula is the correct name. Although I think all of our formulas are God's formulas, right? They're all made with the stuff that was put on earth for humans. Okay, I'm still checking. Oh, let me check Instagram. Sorry, guys. I wasn't looking over here. No, everyone is just watching. Okay. All right, so the discount through tomorrow, 15% off of everything, 20% off the rebuilding formulas, 26% off of the large size of the God formula. Today is the last day to buy the products in store or over the phone. Although because we're down one person for the day, I think getting through on the phone is going to be tough today. If you call today, get your number into the system and leave a message because then on Monday we can just call you back and extend the discount to you. But you do have to call during the discount period. So please call today, email today, or try to place your order online. Tomorrow, no stores are open and nobody's in. So you do have to order online if you're going to order tomorrow. Otherwise, get your inquiry in and we will take care of you on Monday. Dale said, Aston, are you always at the Bronxville store on Saturdays? No, Dale, usually it's me. Aston and I are juggling a couple of additional obligations for the next 2 months. So a lot of Saturdays it's going to be Aston, but not necessarily every one. So if you could just chat or email before you think you want to come, just to see if Aston's there, then please do that. But he is there today. Okay. Thanks for explaining. You're welcome. June says you covered a lot today. Whew. She's got a full page of notes again. Today, actually, the questions were very diverse. I love that when people kind of jump all over the place with all sorts of different things. So that was fun.
So June, are you gonna name us in your book when you write that book, that masterpiece?
Yes, she
That
is.
masterpiece about health and longevity. I'm sure June is writing a book. She has to be writing a book.
Dale said you were just as good, Jillian. Oh, look, I'm just gonna put that up there. Just gonna bask in that for a minute. In some ways, I am not actually, but that's okay. It depends what you need. I'm happy to tell you what I'm not good at. And June said she is writing a NuSpecies book. Excellent.
Good, because we're never gonna get to that book, June. So thank you for writing it for us.
All right, everybody. I don't see anything new coming in, so we're gonna wrap up for the day. This was wonderful. Really, really engaging as always. We just love talking to all of you, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week. Same time, same places. And enjoy this beautiful weekend.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right, hold on. I got to do all the stuff. Wait.
Oh,
you have to look all professional here. Okay, ready? Here we go. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.